Police advised us not to have the event and said that I could be arrested for sedition.
Today is World Press Freedom Day, and to celebrate, Chili Sauce is paying a visit to our favorite media companies with a special spicy gift. First up is Malaysia Kini.
For World Press Freedom Day, what is the most memorable or the most hard-hitting piece that you've done?
I was on the 50th anniversary of the May 13 riots. It was an interactive piece which took you blow by blow of the sourced various sources, not just the government source, books that were banned, etc. On top of the interactive page, we did testimonies of people who lived through the riots. Some of them have passed away now, so we felt like it's great that we managed to archive their experience. We wanted it to be also a live experience, so we held like a forum between people who had lived through it and young people specifically. When we advertised the event, some groups who threatened to come and disrupt the event. So when that happened, we took it to police, and police advised us not to have the event at all and said that I could be arrested for sedition. So we were having like threats from two sides. But finally, I'm really grateful Malaysia Kini actually agreeing to go ahead despite all the threats, because I guess my editorial team felt that it was important enough to go ahead.
Next up, we have the fourth.
The story that sits most closely to my heart is one I did on racism in the rental market. It really made clear how you can have basically everyone being a good person and yet contributing to this systemic issue where people are being left on the sidelines to the point of even homelessness just because they were discriminated against.
Now, let's meet the Rakyat Post.
I would say we did this piece. It was about the misconceptions of MSG. Media is really about changing people's minds, educating them as well. No one's ever thought about why your grandma and your auntie tell you that MSG is bad for you. So we actually deep dive. We bought research papers and did the conclusion after talking to scientists, reading research papers. MSG is not actually bad for you. It's naturally occurring in mushrooms. It's in tomatoes. It's in loads of stuff that we eat. So we wrote that, shot the video, released it, got crazy amount of views, and then based on that, Ajinomoto was like, hey, we appreciate you guys. So they actually gave us an appreciation gift box and everything.
Here's Juice Malaysia.
3 years ago, during the pandemic, I wrote this story about Malaysians and their anti-Black discrimination. I posted the story right around the height of the Black Lives Matter protests following George Floyd's death. To me, that was the first time Malaysians were actively talking about Black Lives Matter. They forgot about a whole bunch of people before him, like Trayvon Martin, who started the whole movement in the first place. They weren't really doing their research. They were a bit hypocritical, just pretending to care about something when actually the same problem occurring in their own country. I wanted to question why people started caring about BLM when they weren't even acknowledging the same problems happening to Black people in Malaysia. I thought it was a pretty spicy story.
There have been some great stories coming out of the media in recent years, but we still have a long way to go in terms of freedom of the press. So, keep supporting your favorite brands, and as always, keep following Chili Sauce for more current issues tambah pedas.
Hey look, it's a cat!